I have this one. Don't really like the setup. It does what it needs to do, but I just don't like the aesthetics of it. We have this one, which is in the same kind of tub. Again, functional, practical, does what it needs to do, kind of. Just don't like the look of it, and it's dirty. And we have me in a reflection. Hello. Let's see if we can try and... We have bloody hell, this one, which I do absolutely love. So this is enclosure I designed for my OBT, which, as you can see, is webbing up, looking good. The front opening door isn't exactly the best, most practical thing. And then we have these two that are just not really anything much. That one's quite nice to look at. It looks good. It's got different textures, different colours, different layers to it. These two just don't do it for me. So today I'm going to hopefully jazz up their homes, and I'm probably going to swap them into different enclosures because they're quite good, these tubs. Something else will be going into them, but for the OBTs I'm not keen. What I want to do is try and get stupid reflections. Something that looks a bit more like this. Let's go! First things first, because we're rehousing some OBT, is a giant, great cup of coffee. Yabba dabba doo. Big old coffee in hand, we're ready to go. So, what I'm thinking of doing is we have over here, to be honest, I can't even remember who's in here. It's not that big. I can't remember exactly what species it is. It's a grumpy little fucker. Pardon my French. So I'm thinking move that one, and in here we have the Pterinochilus gigas, which basically just needs a deep hole to dig in. Don't know what's going on with my lighting today. Anyway, that just needs dirt. That doesn't really need anything special because it's just going to burrow regardless. So I'm thinking of taking these two out, redoing these enclosures for the OBTs, and then swapping them into the other enclosures. So that's my plan. Yeah. Or I might move this one, which is our Megapapion robustum, who's down in there. I'm not quite sure. Because what I want to do is kind of build up this with more webby kind of ones. Because obviously this is webbing up nicely. Oh, look at that lovely webbing. That's Pterinochilus sarlingi, the horned baboon, in our crowing themed enclosure. And obviously we have our Chilobrachys nantinantidantichumtum in here, which is, well, so yeah, that's kind of the plan, is choose two of these guys to go into different enclosures and move our OBTs, or two of our OBTs, over onto this wall. Yeah. Although we do have a third OBT that is in here. It's up in the back of, it's actually climbed up into all this branchery. Not sure that's a word. It's climbed up into all this branching, and it's got like a web that goes all down the back of there. It's pretty cool, but again, I might move it over onto the OBT collection bit area thing. Right, so these are the two that are coming out. We've got the Pterinochilus Pane Blue, we've got the Pterinochilus gigas, and we will be moving our OBTs into here. So I think the easiest thing is going to be to get everybody out into tubs, and then can I just take it from there? Easiest one's done, the Pterinochilus Pane Blue. Nice and easy. Now on to the fun ones. Now, with the OBTs, because they've kind of webbed into some of the cork tube, I'm hoping I can just, like we did with the murinus rehoming, I'm hoping I can just lift out the cork tube and place it into a... Oh, probably shouldn't be doing this by hand, should I? This is probably not the best idea I've ever had. Just hoping that... Yep, that's exactly what I wanted. For the win. One done. I'm not sure this one's going to be so easy, but hey, we'll give it a bash. Hopefully it will go swimmingly smoothly. Get another nice big tub, get the lid ready, and hopefully, bippity boppity boo, danged. Dang it, dang it, dang it. That didn't go to plan. Darn. I seem to have lost my tweezers somewhere. A lot of this stuff is reusable. Depending on how much webbing it's covered in and such like. Or if I'm using it for the same spider. So we'll just get rid of some of this decoration, because we probably will reuse this. Get the water dish out. Tunnel went down, and it must kind of kink round in there somewhere. It's actually down in this corner here. Rascal. Found you, found you, found you. Oh, where'd you think you're going? Found you, found you, found you. Back down you go so I can get you into a catch cup. Found you, found you, found you. You can even have some dirt in your cup here. There we go. Get that out. 3 down. Back to this one. So I know I said I don't like these, but I am going to reuse one because it fits the purpose that I need it for. Pterinochilus is going to go back into it. It's basically a big tub of dirt. The advantage of these is there is like a lip around the edge, so if the spider bolts up, it's less likely to just bolt out. It's got this little feeding slot here, and we can basically just fill this up with dirt, and jobs are good in. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Gigas is done. There's as much dirt in there as there was in its original Exoterra. Look, we've emptied this out, give or take a few wee dregs, but there's basically as much soil as there was. We built it right up. There's a kind of slight starter tunnel going down under here just to kind of get it going. I've built it up as much as I can. I'm not too worried about it being so close to the lid because it never comes out. Basically just tunnels down, and then that's probably the last I'll ever see of it. So yeah, I thought we'll get these guys done nice and quick. What I've done is kind of not press it down hard, but kind of slightly firmy. So let's get this one into its new enclosure. As I say, I'm not a massive fan of these tubs, but for the purpose of this, it will do exactly what I need it to do. Come on in, tappy 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 on the back legs. Usually gets them moving. It's pretty chill. There we go. Jobs are good in you go. See what I mean about that? Oh, see what I mean about that lip? Obviously it can't just come immediately bolting out because we've got that lip there. Lid down, secure clip. We've got easy access for filling up water and chicken food in. And other than that, go tunnel. As anticipated, it's gone straight into where I wanted it to go. I've kind of pushed the soil down in here so that it can just go straight in and start tunneling. That bit of bark comes down and kind of digs into the dirt, creating a little hidey hole. So yeah, jobs are good in. On the Pane Blue, this was quite a difficult decision to come to because I really liked the enclosure it had, so I've tried to replicate it as much as humanly possible within the smaller tank. The reason I'm moving it into a smaller tank is because it wasn't a very big tank for its size. We've actually got this bit of bark so that if it caves down, tunnel goes down in here, we can still see it. There's an entrance here and in the top there, and then we've used the old horror mask hide and stuff that we got from the spider shop. So I still think it looks nice, it looks cool. I'm still happy with it, but it did look quite good in the bigger tank. But anyway, I'm sure I've got an angry little little spider that would quite happily get back into its enclosure, and bushed. Off we go. Probably wondering what's going on. Straight somewhere safe. As I say, I've reused its webbing down the front here, and all these bits were in the original hide. The other reason I'm not too keen on this is because the mechanism broke. It's still very, very secure, but it just doesn't have the same appearance that the Exoterra did. So that's another one done. Okay, we have created our carnage, but we have two empty Exoterras. Still got some substrate in them, but I'm going to clean that out. We still need to get that one out of there. That one's in there. And now we can start to do the main project. We managed to get the other one out, and as you can see, it's pretty peed off. But we got it out nonetheless. We just had to coax it into this tub and then get the lid on, which was an interesting experience. But it's there nonetheless. So now what we could do is we could wipe out the old enclosures and start to build them up for our new, well, not our new, but for our OBTs to go into. And I have a plan in my head. I'm going to try and bring that plan to life. I know there's regs in the bottom. Don't care. I've wiped them out, cleaned them. It's a bit of substrate. It's not going to do any harm. Now we're going to build these two up. We're going to try and create something of a naturalistic kind of look, I hope. I'm not going to do it on film. I'm not going to time lapse it because I've got a feeling this is going to take absolutely ages because I'm kind of doing two at once. But I've got all my materials. Wish me luck.
2,000 years later.
We might have made a bit of a mess in the process, but we finally got them done. And here they are. So this is going to be home number one. We went out and collected these bits of driftwood yesterday. This bit I absolutely love. You can actually see where the beavers have been gnawing either end of the bit of wood. I just absolutely loved it. And these are all bits of driftwood gathered. And number two, tried to keep them similar but not the same, if that makes sense. And number two, so side by side. Try to almost kind of make it look like they kind of were one area, if that makes sense. As if this little mound has been kind of cut in two down here with the wood falling either way. I know what I mean. It's number one. Number two. So I'm hoping now that they've got all these anchor points, they're going to web up. And it should hopefully look way better than their previous homes. So now the only thing left to do is to get our OBTs back into their enclosure. Some bits were reused, bits of bark and stuff that you can't really see because it just kind of helps bulk things up. But there is bits from their old enclosure, so I made sure that I got the correct OBT to go back into the correct tub. Correct OBT back into the correct tub. So now what we need to do is get them in. Get our first female grumpy bum into her new home. Probably wondering what on earth is going on here. So I didn't sign up for this nonsense. What are all these new textures and such like? There we go. Number one is in. Is that not a thing of beauty? Just love these bits of driftwood. She has got a bit of bark at the back there that kind of goes down so she can go in, but I tried to hide it the best I could. And off she goes, and hopefully this will all get webbed up. The grass will die off, I'm aware of that, but hopefully it'll then look all nice and webbed and such like. But in she goes. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That is exactly what we want. Lots of nice wee hidey holes, lots of comfort, hopefully lots of webbing. One done. On to number 2. This one's going to be a bit more tricky because this one is actually still in its hide, so we need to somehow get it from its hide into its new enclosure. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that. How do we get an OBT out of its hide and into its new enclosure? And obviously I don't want to get nipped. And I'm kind of hoping that if we do something like this and then go pokey pokey pokey, I'm kind of hoping that it'll bolt in the direction I want it to bolt. Pull some of this webbing away. Right, hopefully. Okay, aha, there we go, I can at least see. There we go.
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 And she's gone.
And she's gone.
How
Oh,
did it, how did I know if it? How did I know if it was a girl or not?
Okay, so there she is. Not getting quite the same beautiful shot we did the last one. She's down in there. Again, there is a bit of bark kind of curves round the corner. You can kind of see it and goes down the back. Goes down the back. So there is hides there, but with all this driftwood, hopefully she will utilise that. But let's have a look at it from a different angle so you can see what I'm on about. So in the back, she squished herself right there. Look, you can see what I was on about where the beavers and gnawed at the wood. There is a kind of, so they can start to web up that, and then kind of spread out from there. So there is kind of a start made for them. It's like the was it emus bury their head in the sand, allegedly. Yeah, so there is kind of hides already in place for them, but we wanted to give them the opportunity to really utilise the full enclosure and get it all nice and webby.